Merry Christmas, bro.
Merry Christmas, man. The new year approaches.
Yeah, I feel like I had the worst. I mean, not the worst Christmas. It was the most boring Christmas, man. I did nothing. Like, I did absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I did something, but it had nothing to do with Christmas. So I guess that doesn't count.
Like, I see zero Christmas vibes anywhere. Like,
Yeah. I don't know how when I was younger I felt like there was more of a Christmas vibe, and it's just died out now that I'm old.
Yeah,
in my early to mid 20s.
Bro, Christmas was a thing, man. Like I used to put socks and all that.
Yeah, dude. We had a Christmas tree and shit. It was basically another like a new excuse to get my parents to give me a gift.
Yeah, I feel like I need more of those. But
yeah,
I'm not complaining, bro.
The stakes are too high for gift giving now. Like, I don't want a fucking SD card.
Acha, before anything, I just want to follow up of the previous podcast. Before we talk about the Tom Scott video, I would just like to say YouTube Rewind 2018, the most disliked video of all time.
A moment of silence.
What, 13 million dislikes?
Man, the irony, bro. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I don't even know how to feel about it, dude.
Honestly, I knew it was bad. I knew it was really bad. And I knew this was the most dislikes ever. But the most disliked video on YouTube ever, surpassing Baby by Justin Bieber. Fuck! I'm so happy. I'm so glad this happened.
You're glad? I mean, I was kind of hoping that it would go down like every year. I mean, not every year, but like for the past 3 years, I could say Rewind has been shit. But this year, I just thought that it'll be shit. Like, I knew it was going to be shit. But I didn't think I didn't think there would be like a public uproar, you know, like that people who were in Rewind are like uploading like explanations, like MKBHD did something, Casey did something, Pewdiepie obviously spoke about it.
Yeah.
So,
you know what they did? They went on Twitter and they said, "We have a new record." And then they were like, "Oh, wait," which is basically a joke on themselves, you know. And then they followed up with that tweet saying, "We have been listening to all the comments we have been getting and we hear you. We will take notice," or something like that, and then they'll change something in YouTube Rewind 2019. I don't know what they're going to do. I honestly don't know. But I feel like hopefully they have got the message this time. Ki, bro, this is not working out. This is not working out. Okay, let's roll the intro.
Sup, you beautiful bastards. Hope you've had a fantastic day. But let's just jump into it. Hey, guys.
Hey, what is up, guys?
Hello, Internet.
Hey, how's it going, friends?
Hello, Internet.
What's up, guys? It's
Hey, brother.
Good morning, John.
Good morning. Hey, it's Tuesday.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, how's it going?
Let's get started.
If you want to find the videos we talk about, all their links will be in the show notes. We will also be compiling all the videos we talk about in this episode into a playlist that you can find on our YouTube channel. You will know if a video is added into the show notes if you hear this pop sound in the episode. You can also find all the videos on our website, which is kota.design/podcast. That is KOTA.design/podcast to view all the videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get regular updates about the Substation podcast.
man, I feel bad for the people running YouTube. I mean, this is a perfect segue into the first video we're going to talk about, which is the Pewdiepie video. Wall Street Journal apologizes to Pewdiepie.
Wall Street Journal apologized to PewDiePie. This just in. Oh my god. This was featured on Wall Street Journal's website. Wall Street Journal, public apology to PewDiePie. Finally! Yatta deshne!
So much drama and so much shit has gone down with YouTube in like the past 2 months. They have just been on like the fire is under their ass, dude. Like I don't know any other way of putting it. This whole copyright Article 13 issue, YouTube Rewind, Adpocalypse, which is like recent, you could say, but like
No, it's like 2 years back.
Yeah, but that's still recent.
I keep forgetting that YouTube as a company doesn't make YouTube videos. See, they know how to run a video platform very well. I mean, Like, we are giving them shit about, all the copyright claims and everything. But you need to understand, nobody in the world has ever done this, has ever done such a
Successfully.
large feat. Yeah, nobody has gone through this.
I mean, just to put it into context, it is the second biggest search engine after Google.
I mean, no, fuck the technology, man. Forget.
No, I'm
forget,
just talking in terms of traffic.
No, forget that's what I'm saying. Forget the traffic. Forget all the algorithms that's going on. Forget how many terabytes of data is being uploaded on YouTube every day. Forget all of that. And this goes for Facebook as well. Nobody, right, not a single company, not a single organization ever in the history had to go through so many rules and regulations that had to be, had to be right for each country, for each state, for each kind of content. There is so many things they need to just get right in terms of copyright, first of all, for rules and regulations, for so many things. Advertisements, the way ads work in the UK is much different than the way ads work in the US. The way you need to say promotional ad content, the way it works for Germany, the way it works for European Union, the way it works for some country in Africa, the way it works for India. Everything is different for each country, and to manage all of that, right, is such a huge task. And by the way, same thing for Facebook as well, right? What counts as
hate speech or political propaganda?
No, not even that. Like in terms of pornographic content or, censored content or anything. Maybe I'll link the podcast episode on the show notes. There's a Radiolab episode which they did on just this, where it started off with basically Facebook said, when they started off in 2011, ki anyone who shows their nipples or anyone who shows their breasts are basically, removed, that picture is removed from Facebook. And then women started protesting they wanted to show pictures of them breastfeeding their children. Okay? And so Facebook was like, okay. And then they just basically said, they added a disclaimer saying, okay, for people who are for women who are breastfeeding their kids, we will leave that on the thing. Then people started using that to also show other, content, and then they had to make, and now from a one sentence thing, it's a book. It's a full-fledged book that every person who is checking each image and seeing whether it's allowed to, in their terms and conditions or something, they have to abide by that book and see whether it works or not. And the thing is, nobody has done that. Nobody has done that for the internet. Nobody has done that for such a large corporation. So you need to give credit for YouTube in that sense, but it still surprises me how they don't know what actually goes behind creating a video and putting up the stuff on video.
Man, honestly, they have so much else to worry about. Credit where credit is due. There is no other YouTube competitor.
Yeah.
But I feel like what does YouTube stand for as a platform? It is the single most diverse, open, free platform for you to put any kind of content that you want. It could be related to anything. There's a market for anything on YouTube.
But to be honest, I don't think that is what makes YouTube unique. If you're looking at anybody can put any video on the platform, you can think of Dailymotion or like any other video streaming platform as well. What makes YouTube different than not just any video platform, but for any content creating service on the internet is they have a way of monetizing and giving back some money to the creator, which is developed through the ads that they do. There's not a subscription. YouTube Red is there. So, but primarily there are ads on YouTube. And
that's what I'm trying to say, right? They have created a platform where you can monetize anything from toy review videos to tech videos, So for them to cater to the content creators who want to be, they don't want to be oppressed. They want to have freedom of speech and all of that. But then at the same time, they are trying to lure in advertisers and show them that, this is a great platform for you to advertise. It's a great platform for, mass visibility is a lot. If your ad is coming on, like for example, there's a new Netflix show, Crazy Rich Asians, and it's being released now. Okay, let's say it came out like a week back. So Netflix wants people to watch it. What ends up happening is that I will get that. I mean, it stopped now, but I will get that ad for a week consistently. And by that time, I mean, for me, it's different because I wasn't curious about that show. I knew that I wasn't going to watch that show. But it was so deeply ingrained into like just the first 3 seconds of that ad. Yeah, the first 3 to 5 seconds. I was like, shit, man. Like, I know the music. I know the dialogue. I know everything. Like, the advertising is so good that even if I don't want to know about it, I know about it.
And I mean, on a side note, one of my friends, he was showing me a video. Okay. And this is like a month back. And before the YouTube video started, he just said these 2 words and I knew what he was talking about. Okay, he clicked on the search and he typed whatever that video was. And before it started, he said, Mumbai Shere, yahan pe sab kuch hota hai.
Oh, shit.
And I knew what he was talking about because it's basically that Sacred Games ka trailer. And YouTube has just been vomiting that advertisement on every video.
You cannot run from it.
Yeah, and I know about it. I mean, and I immediately laughed because before the video started, he said that. And I got it because basically I also know exactly what he's talking about because now it's been ingrained in my head. That just shows how good they have gotten also with advertisements. At one point, do you remember there was a time where YouTube didn't show a video ad? It would just show a banner at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which it still does.
There were no ads, basically. There were no ads that would stop you from viewing your content.
Yeah, coming back to the point, I feel like YouTube is in that way 2 years ahead of Facebook. See, because Facebook has been going through a lot of shit right now because of the government, right? And because of Cambridge Analytica and, people are not using Facebook as much and all that. Instagram, that's still there, but whatever. But they're facing shit right now, right? Adpocalypse happened more than a year back. Right. And Adpocalypse, for the listeners, Adpocalypse was basically... Should I tell them the story?
You could tell me also because I don't really know exactly.
Oh, you don't know about this?
I know about it. I know vaguely.
Okay, so basically, this was one of the only Pewdiepie videos I had watched at that point of time. Okay. There was basically some website where you can pay a creator to showcase or make a video and basically show the words or say the words that you want them to say.
Fiverr.
Okay, Fiverr. Yes, yeah.
It is Fiverr, yeah.
I think so. And some guy in Tamil Nadu or somewhere in India.
No, I've seen this exact video that you're talking about.
So they just like say some wacky stuff or they make some weird noises and then they basically roll out a chart paper and you can basically say whatever you want to say on that. You can basically pay them and you can type what you want them to write on that chart paper and they will show that. And Pewdiepie fucking typed over there, death to all Jews, and they did it. Okay, I mean, obviously they didn't understand
the meaning or anything.
Like, they didn't understand the meaning or, what is going to...
I feel like even if they understood the meaning, they would have still done it because they didn't seem like very financially stable individuals.
Yeah, and it's not their fault, right? And also there was some guy dressed as Santa Claus or something like that. So he did this. Then... what happened was Wall Street Journal, which is why Wall Street Journal, which is by where this entire thing starts off. Wall Street Journal basically put up an article, not just Wall Street Journal, but some UK article as well. I'll add that in the show notes. They basically said ads are running on a PewDiePie video, which is anti-Semitic. PewDiePie's anti-Semitic was the first wave of news that was going around, and then PewDiePie was like, haha, fuck you, whatever the fuck.
And PewDiePie being the most subscribed person on YouTube, it was a big deal for YouTube.
It was a big deal for YouTube, but that was not the point though. Okay, so then Wall Street Journal and, this other publisher in the UK started finding really horrendous videos, really, really bad videos, like child pornography and some violence and like racism on YouTube. And they might have been there for barely like for 2 days, 3 days. They might have just been uploaded immediately. But they found the video and they took a screenshot of a Mercedes ad in front of that video and posted it on their like news on their magazine, on their newspaper, saying that, look at this. There are death threats happening, in this video, or there's like some violent stuff happening in this video, and you, Mercedes, is running an ad on this video, and these guys are getting money from you. So then what started to happen was all these companies were like, oh fuck, we don't want to get this kind of bad press. And so a bunch of companies, McDonald's, Pepsi, Nike, Mercedes, there was like some 20 to 30 big corporations which basically said, hey, we're not showing any ads on YouTube now. And that was the result of Adpocalypse. Adpocalypse was basically all of these YouTubers suddenly saw a drop in terms of the amount of the ad revenue that they were getting and the amount of like monetary income that they were getting per video. And that was deemed as Adpocalypse. And then YouTube was just like, holy shit, we are now so fucked because of this. And then they started talking to the advertisers a lot more, right? And if you see the video Casey Neistat did with I can't even say his name. It's Robert Kyncl. That's his surname. He's basically responsible for all the creators and everything, right? So there's a Casey Neistat who's basically the head of YouTube business. And in that interview, basically Casey says that it feels like YouTube is favoring the advertisers more than the creators. And what that guy said was, and he started laughing and he was basically like, it's funny because the advertisers say the same thing. Both sides both sides are saying the same thing, that they don't listen to the other side. Creators are saying they don't listen to the creators. The advertisers are like saying that they don't listen to the advertisers. And so YouTube is basically fixed. They don't know what to do. I don't blame them. They're really shit scared of another adpocalypse happening, right? To their platform. So that is why there's been so much shit talk by the creators at this point of time, because first of all, Adpocalypse happened and then they got pissed off. Obviously, they don't know who to get pissed off with, so they got pissed off at YouTube. Then YouTube tried to make sure that ads started coming back on YouTube. So then they started doing that demonetization if they found anything was wrong or something like that.
And copy strike and all of that.
Copy strike and all of this. And now Article 13. And now basically YouTube is really trying hard to make sure that this Adpocalypse never happens again. Which is why I feel like they're a lot more, in terms of all the other tech companies who also publish content, they will be a lot more compliant with the Article 13 because of all that's happened in the year. Because they have been so stringent that, every video needs to go through this process. Which is why, by the way, you don't get none of your videos will be monetized if you're under 1,000 subscribers. Or if you have not put 1,000 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, right? You need to have 1,000 subscribers and you need to have a certain amount of watch time in a certain time period.
Yeah, exactly.
So like a year prior to, from that point where you're measuring from, a year prior to that, you need to have something like 1,000 hours of watch time for you to monetize.
Exactly. Because the thing is, also you need to understand that those people who are adding those anti-Semitic or violent videos on YouTube, they didn't have any subscribers. They weren't a YouTube channel. They were just random people putting up a YouTube video. By the way, you know the best way of sharing a video from one person to another, if you have a really large video and if you need to send it to somebody else, right?
You put it on YouTube.
You just put it up on YouTube. And then let them download it and then, and then that's it. And then you take it down, whatever, but then that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's free. So this basically made sure that, at least the monetization part of it is gone, which is why they've been targeting so much of, all the hate talk that you've been hearing from all the creators is just about monetization. It is not even about videos being taken down. It is all about monetization. It is just because of Adpocalypse. So I mean, and I totally get where PewDiePie is coming from, and I feel like he a year or two back, he was, when you thought about really shitty people on YouTube who have a lot of subscribers, the only person that would come to your mind was PewDiePie. There are a lot more people now. There are way more channels like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Alex Jones, man. That guy, my God. But yeah.
Man, but the main reason I wanted to talk to you about this PewDiePie video was specifically about the whole Adpocalypse was basically triggered by PewDiePie's video. And he is the most subscribed YouTuber on YouTube. And
Currently.
And the problem is that I feel like I wasn't really a active subscriber of YouTube before, you could say, like 6 or 7 months max from this point.
Really?
Yeah, I never watched PewDiePie. So I feel like after Adpocalypse happened to him, he started becoming super honest about his whole, like, what he is on YouTube, which videos of his are demonetized, which ones are not. And he started just generally speaking out about YouTube and the business of YouTube and how it's like to be a creator on YouTube. And at the same time, because he started becoming so honest about the platform, and he has such the biggest reach of any YouTuber on YouTube, I feel like big corporations did not want him to speak out about stuff like this. So they are taking that anti-Semitic thing that he did, which obviously reflects badly on him. And he could have made those people in India write anything, anything funny, anything meme-worthy. He chose to write "Death to all Jews," it was a joke. It might not be the best joke. You could have, paid $5 to 2 random guys in India to hold up a sign saying that, but whatever. But now, Wall Street Journal, Vox, there is one journalist at Vox who put up an article saying that, PewDiePie is a Nazi. And I feel like they are trying to push that image of PewDiePie being a Nazi because they don't like the fact that there's just this one random Swedish guy who, he doesn't even have like a big team. He probably has a couple of editors. That's about it. It's just him. They don't really want someone with such a big audience who's being so honest. They don't like that. So they're constantly trying to plaster his image with being a Nazi.
Of course.
It's so fucked up, dude.
No,
it's so fucked up.
And I don't think they're pissed off at... See, they're targeting PewDiePie for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a personal vendetta with PewDiePie.
But the problem they have is not PewDiePie. The problem they have is fucking YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Because they are seeing that, with a relatively low, almost to no budget, if you already have camera and sound equipment, you can just start a YouTube channel and you can have a great revenue stream, you don't have to, and anyways, like all of these major publication companies, Wall Street Journal, Vox, they're dying, and that is why Vox has, multiple YouTube channels, The Verge, Vox, Curved, Eater, all of that stuff, because YouTube is the next frontier of online content. It's so easy. I mean, podcasts is a little ahead of video because you don't have to be so engaged. But at this moment, for most people, video is the best means of transferring information through like a computational device. People don't like to read. People are not going to read an article that's, a couple of scrolls long. It's the easiest thing because someone has got up and even if they haven't curated it, even if it's just a guy standing in front of a camera talking about some random shit, that you would rather watch, you would rather absorb information in that way rather than read like a much better, like, in air quotation marks, production value article where the guy's like cited everything that he's, taking from. And I feel like that is the main thing that is valuable about YouTube, that it is the next frontier for information distribution, whether that's like political content, whether it's like just funny stand-up shit, anything, dude. Like, you can be a news focused YouTube channel, you can be a stand-up focused YouTube channel, you can be like a daily vlog channel. That's what I was trying to say earlier, right? Like the range of content. Like, if you go to let's say Wall Street Journal is kind of like a mini YouTube for articles. They have different writers, they have different editors, everyone comes together to make like diverse-ish content. Like, there'll be some trivial articles, and then there'll be some articles that are about like big national or international issues. But imagine that on YouTube, where the creators don't really have to give a shit about the administration. I mean, they do have to give a shit about the administration, but not in the same way that a publication company would. So,
can I summarize that in a different format? So what you said is right. Wait, let me think about how I should say this in the right way. So before the internet, there was a platform and there was a publisher. And then a publication company. And then within that, there was the creator. So when I mean platform, I mean TV is a platform. Books is a platform, right? Yeah. Radio is a platform. Then you have publishers. Publishers are like NBC Television or ABC News or MTV as a publisher. Wall Street Journal, Times of India, they're also publishers. You get the point, right? And within those publication companies, there was the creator, which is the editor inside that, or the actor or the director or something like
the
that.
The writer or whatever.
Yeah. What the internet did was, they took the whole platform to another level. Now, internet is no longer a platform.
Internet is a platform for platforms.
Yes, exactly. It's like a platformception, in a way. Because Facebook is a platform now.
Yeah.
YouTube is a platform now. When the internet started, internet actually was just a platform, because you would move from a person's blog website to another person's blog website or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was quite basic. Or you were mostly using like services. So like,
now there's like, you could honestly say there's an internet within YouTube. There's an internet within Facebook. Facebook wants to be the fucking internet. That's their aim. They want to be the entire internet, the whole social internet. So basically, they took the platform to another level. Okay. Now, what started happening was then publishing, and the whole term of publishers, these companies didn't take the role of that. Why? Because they don't want, first of all, the regulation to be part of that. And they don't want to be the person who wants to edit out and be the filter for all of this. They just want to be the platform. Right? So if you see the Mark Zuckerberg interview, which he did in front of the Senate, right? He very clearly says, listen, we are not a publisher. We are a platform.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Which makes sense, right? And they make sure that they explicitly say that, because there are very different rules for publishers than for platforms, right? Which is what the Article 13 is trying to remove, but whatever. So basically, publishers went away. Then who takes the role of the publisher? It is the creator. So when you create a YouTube video, you have all the right and all the power to just publish it. Such a large platform, right?
So you could say the barrier to entry onto a platform has been nullified to basically zero.
Exactly. Yes.
Like, so let's say if I have a story to tell and I'm in a pre-internet era, all I can do is... You
need to go through the publishers.
Yeah, I have to go to a publication that can then take that and put it onto a platform where then people can hear about my content. One last thing from the PewDiePie video is, so did you see the Patreon thing that happened?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Dude,
what the
shit,
fuck was
man.
That is not cool. That is not cool.
Yeah, dude, like I thought, and I had like such,
I have so much
I
love
think, yeah,
for
we
Patreon.
both couldn't say the same thing. I had so much love for Patreon, and some of the best channels that according to me, the channels that I like the most are Patreon backed. And then I found out about Jack Conte and who the fuck Jack Conte is, and then I started watching his YouTube stuff. He's a musician and everything, and then I hear about this and I'm like, holy shit, this is like the least likely thing that could have happened to a platform like Patreon.
I feel like I feel like they've gotten a lot of shit because of all of this, and I hope they don't do this, because he didn't violate any of the terms and conditions of Patreon. He didn't say anything on Patreon.
Yeah, I mean they seem to have like a really ideal business model, which is that we are not affiliated to the things you do off of this platform.
Yeah.
So that sort of puts you in a very good place when it comes to like getting demonetized because of something that you might have said that counts as hate speech, according to your viewers, that is, or according to the terms and conditions of Patreon itself.
You know the beauty of Patreon? At least these other platform companies, because of audio and video, not much of images, actually little bit of images, but because of audio and video and all the copyright claims and everything that goes on with that, right? All of these other platforms like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all, they have to go through strict guidelines by the government. Patreon doesn't make any content. They just give money to people, which is great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's move on.
Bro, I think we need to. I feel like we definitely need to talk about the Tom Scott video. We just left everybody on a cliffhanger last time.
Yeah, for sure.
Over the last week of December 2028, the world forgot about a century of pop culture. We forgot everything the Beatles ever sang, everything J.K. Rowling ever wrote, every movie George Lucas ever shot. We know the names of these people, we know they were famous, we may remember being fans of their work. But over a few days, humanity forgot everything that they'd made. You've probably never wondered why and never found it strange, but the reason is earworm.
I'm a little intimidated by this video, dude.
I want to know what you think. Because I have a lot of things to say, especially not much to the listeners, but to you. It is.
I mean, I have a very low-key fascination with hypotheticals, like calculated hypothetical situations, and this just feeds that like of mine in a very deep way, because he has compiled this hypothetical. It's very real. I could see the world heading into this way. I mean, it's one of those very typical sort of sci-fi stories where there's an AI and its programming is fairly simple. It just has a simple task to do, but
it's a very Black Mirror-esque.
Yeah, it's a very Black Mirror-esque. But the problem with this is that he's direct. Like, this is a direct response to Adpocalypse and all of the drama that has been going on YouTube, where they do have to have these bots that are screening millions of videos per second and finding like very recognizable patterns or sounds that could be associated with hate speech or political propaganda or pornographic content and stuff like this. The intent with creating a program like Earworm, I would be for it, I guess. Like, I don't know if I want to say that yet, but I can get on board with the idea of having a program like this, because I feel like, especially with YouTube and especially with all of the stuff that's been happening recently, we are in the middle of a very big change when it comes to the word content. Just the word content has become so widely used and relevant. What is content? Like, everyone is fucking making this thing called content. What the fuck is content? Like, content is just consumable media that is distributed to you by the internet, and the creator is compensated in some way or form, whether that's visibility, or you've monetized your content, or you're selling your content, or your content is an ad for your product, or whatever the fuck it is. And with all of this net neutrality, whatever we just spoke about, all of this, I feel like we're in a place where, like, I don't know what's going to happen after this, but we are definitely at the cusp of something. And this video perfectly puts out this well-designed, well-thought-out hypothetical of what that cusp could be in the future. I mean, there are some parts of the video that are very futuristic. They're probably too futuristic for us to even imagine today. I'm like going through the video, like it's too fucking information dense. Like, it was crazy. Like, I loved watching it.
Okay, so I'll tell you why I felt like this video was so relevant for you. Okay, which is, I mean, actually no, wait. I'll brief the entire video first. Wait. So a video streaming platform like YouTube called Watch Me Now, in this hypothetical future, because of new guidelines that the European Union they've released, they need to comply with. They make this machine learning artificial intelligent algorithm, which are given these set of instructions, which is remove all the copyright content from this system with as little damage as possible. Okay. Now, this obviously, they had like so much data, so the machine learning was way faster, and they eventually became like, you know, smarter than a human. Super intelligent and all that, right? Now, the problem started off with the people who ran this artificial intelligence wasn't very well trained for dealing with AI, that they didn't really specify what system actually meant. So when this AI, which is now super intelligent and like 1,000 times smarter than a human being, read the word, when it was mentioned system, it didn't think that website or that platform. It thought the entire world apart from itself.
Oh.
Because it thought the human, I mean, it didn't think of the system as the website. It thought of humanity as a system. So it tried to make a task of removing as much copyright content from humanity as possible.
Holy shit.
That is where the entire video went. And then I don't want to spoil too much of it. So then that's where the entire video goes. Right. And okay, so I'll tell you why I loved this video. I love this video. Right. For the listeners, Viraj and I have had many conversations about AI, you know, during our college years. And we eventually came on different sides of the same argument all the time, which is, I feel like you always have looked at the humanitarian version of AI, which is when it becomes conscious and when it becomes things for itself, and you get it, right? Like, I feel like that's usually where you take your stance on AI. And that's where usually you take your stance in terms of how AI can be detrimental and can be so destructive to humanity. Right? And I always try to push this forward with you, which was, bro, AI doesn't even need to go there. It doesn't need to go even close to being See, because the thing is, I feel like the argument and the storyline that you always take is what I like to say. I mean, I keep saying is the Matrix/Terminator story.
It's basically a romanticized, unrealistic.
No, but that's mostly how a large percentage of the population thinks about how AI can be detrimental to humanity, destructive. Yeah. Because they think, what if it realizes, we don't need these humans. We just need to remove these humans and all that. And the point I keep trying to push forward is you don't even need to go that far. First of all, AI it can be as stupid as just following one instruction.
Yeah, it's basically got more to do with machine learning than artificial conscious intelligence.
Because AI, and the thing is, you can be 1,000 times smarter than a human being and not be conscious and not realize that, hey, what I'm doing is actually stupid, and actually not be logical about it, right? In a humanitarian way. And this was a perfect example, right? Even though it was 10 times smarter than a human, right?
It was like a narrow set of skills. And that in itself...
and a narrow path forward and a narrow end goal that it wanted to do. right?
I mean, let's just leave out that whole electronic might, whatever the fuck that was.
That's not the point, right? That's regardless of the argument. It is when you have something so fucking powerful as something as AI, which, by the way, we don't even know how powerful it can get, because the amount of machine learning and the amount of AI, the progress AI has made forward so far is so tiny that it's, there is leap year. I mean, there's so much we can do with this from here. I mean, because I keep reading a lot about this subject, not reading, like listening about the subject and watching YouTube videos about the subject. This is where Elon Musk's thing starts. And by the way, you should, if you, also for the listeners, if you want to know more about why it is inevitable that something like this is going to be so destructive, you need to like read that book by Nick Bostrom called Super Intelligence. Right? And Nick Bostrom is crazy at, I remember that conference we watched where all the head, like all the AI gurus, like they're the frontiers of AI came. The guy who's behind DeepMind of Google, Nick Bostrom, Elon Musk, all of them are on the same conference and they were talking. So in one of them, Nick Bostrom was basically saying, dude, like you take if you just go on the very logical path where this can go, no matter what you do, in the most stupidest way possible, also AI can just like destroy us. Because, okay, for example, what if one guy by mistake says something like this? And okay, he doesn't release mites or something like that, but what if it removes all content from the internet?
Yeah.
You know, what happens if something like that happens? And the thing is, people like Elon Musk, what they have said, and I think the video also starts talking about this, Tom Scott's video starts talking about this, is that the only thing that can stop an AI is another AI. And so it made sure that nobody else in artificial intelligence like ever does something with artificial intelligence. That is why Elon Musk started OpenAI, which is make an open source AI that anybody can take. So even if there's someone evil who's using an AI, there's always enough competition for that AI to deal with, right? And that is why he's so scared of what Google is doing. Dude, Google's like AI softwares are so damn good. Like, you take YouTube's algorithm or the Google search engine or Google Assistant for that matter, right? And they're leap years ahead of all the other AI that's around.
But they don't really care much about the strategic steps that they have to take towards progress. Like they do want to progress in terms of technology and how far AI has come. But I feel like more sort of profit oriented and sort of want to be the number one players in the game and don't really care much about ethics or like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's quite uncharacteristic of Google though.
No, to be honest, that's the story of companies who use the internet. Facebook didn't care about all the problems that they are facing now, or even YouTube or anybody on the internet as a matter of fact. And to be honest, I'm glad it's actually Google, because the thing is, knowing the people behind all of the AI technology that's going on and reading a lot about them. I forgot that guy who's part of DeepMind and Google X, right? He knows, all the problems that can arise with AI, and he's not stupid about that. Like he definitely regulates it well within Google. What I am scared of is when the government wants to regulate it, because the government will definitely do a way better job at regulating these kind of things than the companies themselves. You can clearly see that with the internet that's going on right now. The governments really suck at regulating these companies. And I feel like just keeping an open source kind of AI format will definitely help. But it just shows how powerful AI can be without going
consciousness.
Without getting consciousness, or like the way people perceive it with the whole ex machina or like Avengers.
I feel like
Avengers Age of Ultron kind of scene.
That is a very like romanticized, like, oh, like this is cool science fiction that the machine feels bad and stuff. Fuck that.
Yeah, you don't need
there
to
is
go
no
that
emotion,
route,
conscience or anything, opinion. Fuck that.
And I don't know. Like, I feel like this video as a story and as a concept showcase that perfectly. It just showed that so well. Like I've been trying to show how AI can be really bad to human civilization and not go the consciousness kind of story route.
But how do we know that an AI like this isn't already doing work like this? Maybe not at like the exponential scale that he talks about.
You never fucking know.
Exactly.
Okay, let's put the hypothetical scenario, right? What if tomorrow, right, YouTube themselves puts an AI like this with the AI technology that they have right now, and because they had to do it very fast, some random dude in YouTube basically did the same problem, which is basically saying our system, but instead of our system, it didn't just go to YouTube, but it went to Google as well. And not just Google, but to all search engines as well. And then because Google basically uses...
It's basically like a virus.
Yeah.
It's like an artificial intelligence virus.
So imagine an AI, which is, by the way, in this scenario, 1,000 times smarter than any human, right? And then within the next second, because it's exponential, becomes smarter than human civilization. Right?
Put together,
Yeah, and imagine the only platform it can do all of this destruction is just the internet, right? Imagine what it thinks of as copyright content. It can just take down the internet.
Yeah, because technically the entire internet is a copyright violation.
Just take down the internet. And when it takes down the internet, imagine all the other things that's tied with the internet. Right, all the cellular data.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and that is a very plausible thing that an AI can do if it is.
Bro, I feel like if this seems like a very like fifth grader the apocalypse situation. But tomorrow, if the internet shuts down, it would be like a global catastrophe on the scale of like, I don't even know, like nuclear warfare. I mean, nuclear warfare, at least we die, but like if the internet goes off, like there's so many other things, like obviously you can't call your parents and shit, but like other entire industries, entire systems, entire industries that are like solely based on the internet.
Yeah.
So many things, dude, like shit.
I mean, that is a very plausible scenario that can happen tomorrow. If you give a sufficiently advanced AI these exact terms which this guy in the video said.
I think it would be fun.
What?
What,
bro?
It's like a reset button.
My God, no. Bro.
Like you can no longer use Google Maps. You can no longer like.
Bro, electricity will stop.
How will electricity? I guess maybe electricity will stop.
Electricity will stop. Governments will shut down. The ration
It'll
system
be
works
fun.
on
It'll be
fucking
fun.
internet.
It'll be like anarchy. It'll be like a permanent purge.
Bro, like I want the internet. I don't. I want
Of course. I want the internet, but.
I know we're giving a lot of shit about YouTube and Facebook and how I'm removing notifications from my phone and shit. But I want the internet, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, bro. Man, what baffles my mind so many times is that the internet is just
started.
Yeah. It is we are in the beginning of the internet, literally. Like, the internet is a year older than me.
Yeah.
Like, imagine 100 years down the line, 200 years down the line, if we survive that long, like, holy shit, man. Like, I have no way of comprehending it, dude. Like, will the repercussions, like, let's say if I slap you, it's bad, you'll remember that. But like, what is the social media equivalent of a slap? Will it be worth that much? Like, fucking 20 years down the line, like, there will be so much data on individual users. Yeah. Enough data to like a lifetime's data, almost like 40 years worth of data on a single individual. That is a lot of information of just one person. You can probably create an AI based on that.
Hello.
And like replicate the responses of that person.
Bro, I mean, that's what AI eats for breakfast, man. It's fucking data, bro. Like that's what they do. And the other problem with AI is that people think of AI, Hello?
Yeah.
People think of AI as, just like they don't understand they don't understand what exactly does that mean, right? And people confuse it with machine learning, which machine learning is a subset of AI, right? And the machine learning part is the crazy part, right? It's not it's not the AI that is crazy. It is how this software learns. It's a kid which learns how
like
to
knowing
do things.
from knowing nothing.
Yeah.
From knowing you could almost say like negative, like because it's been given data that it's been given no set of rules about how to process this data. At first, it's just doing anything.
I know how to perfectly end this conversation. To all the listeners, I'm going to put it in the show notes. There is a video where this guy makes an AI, a really stupid AI called Mar.io, and it does only one thing. It tries to learn how to beat Mario. Okay, it tries to learn how to win that game, right? The first Mario. And you need to see how that Mario learns. And it's an AI which actually just learns how to go about the game. And it's first stupid as hell. And then slowly, it becomes better than I can ever be at Mario.
No, it holds the world record for, I think, the fastest player to finish the game.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Dude, so by the end of by the time they stop running the simulation, because you can run it basically as long as your computer is on.
Yeah.
And at some point it plateaus, and the rate at which it's increasing is very less because it's basically figured out every single decision it needs to take to finish the entire game in a lesser amount of time. So by the end of it, Mario doesn't stop, dude.
Yeah.
He's just going. He sprints through the game.
Yeah, I've seen that. Fuck, bro.
It's retarded.
Okay, I feel like we need to move to the next one, bro.
Oh, fuck, bro. I can't believe we're going to go from AI to primitive technology. Oh, no. Let's do Dyson spheres first.
That transition is also not that great, by the way.
Let's do Dyson spheres.
If we want to collect the most energy physically possible, we'll have to build the largest, most ambitious structure in the universe, the Dyson sphere, a megastructure that encompasses a whole star to capture its power output. For an intelligent species, building a Dyson sphere is a technological leap on a par with the discovery of fire for our ancestors. The transition from a planetary species to an interstellar species. It would usher in an age of exploration and expansion on a scale we can barely imagine.
Okay, you want to go... Leave all of that. What did you find interesting in this video?
I really want to know how, in a nutshell, does their research? Because I feel like all there is to their channel, there's two parts. One is the research narrative aspect. And then the other side is the visualization, creative aspect. And on both ends, I mean, when it comes to the creative animation, visual aspect of it, they've completely streamlined their aesthetic and how they want to look and how they want to visualize certain intangible things. It makes it so much easier for us and for them. How are you going to visualize a sun? How are you going to visualize a sphere of orbiting satellites around the sun? You cannot make it realistic. You have to create a visual language that is going to last you, but at the same time is going to be good enough for you to visualize really fucking not intangible, but almost intangible, basically. Million satellites around the sun is not really intangible. I mean, to us it's intangible, but maybe not that much. And then also, how do they find the craziest concepts to... I would say most of the ideas and subjects that they talk about are relevant in the global science and technology community. But then sometimes they'll release a video like this about Dyson spheres, and it's something that I feel like I would really like to know more about. Or I would have loved to have known about this earlier. But I'm only learning it now because of In a Nutshell. Which is crazy. Like, to be known as that channel for me is awesome.
I mean, for me personally, In a Nutshell, okay, wait, I'm going to try saying it. Kurzgesagt. Kurzgesagt. If any German person listens.
It's a German word.
It's a German word, and it basically means in a nutshell.
Okay. I love that they have one word for that.
By the way, they tried to move away from like the word Kurzgesagt in their videos and in their channel, and then they put out a video that's saying that no, we're no longer going to say Kurzgesagt and we're going to say In a Nutshell. And then they got backlash from it, and it was their most disliked video in their channel. So then they removed that video.
Holy shit. That's so sad.
Yeah, bro. I mean, even I remember it as the K, like sounding.
The K wala channel.
The K wala channel. Yeah.
I mean, no matter how hard I try it, it's never going to roll off my tongue.
I mean, obviously, I also might be getting it very wrong. Kurzgesagt. Anyway.
You're missing the accent, bro.
I mean, no, I'm not trying. I'm not trying that.
You have to get the pronunciation right and then do the accent also right.
No, that's not happening. Yeah, but the thing, for me personally, all of their videos, I mostly know about those topics pretty well. So it's not like I'm getting some crazy new concept from them.
I mean, I also know, I mean, if I were to say how many of the videos I already knew about, like the subjects that they're talking about in those videos before I had seen them, I would say 55 to 60% of the time I already know a little bit at least about what the video is about before I've seen it.
I think so, yeah.
But I did not know what Dyson spheres were.
Really?
Yeah. Not at all, bro. I had no clue.
Dyson spheres is the future, man. It's the...
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, now I know.
Yeah, now you know. But coming back to it, I feel like that's irrelevant whether I know about it or not. Obviously, there are times where I'm just like, wow, what they do well. Okay. What they do so well is conveying something as complex as a Dyson sphere in the most beautiful way possible.
Yeah.
They do that better than anybody else I have ever seen. This is not just YouTube. This is any television channel, anything. They are the best at visualizing and storytelling and showing concepts, scientific concepts.
Also, if I were to explain this to someone in words, it's not going to be so hard, okay? But as an illustrator, if someone told me, bro, draw a sun and then draw a million, like 1 square kilometer long satellites, like / solar panels around it. I don't even know how, like, from a graphic design perspective, let's say I'm obviously not going to like illustrate it by hand. It has to be a scalable graphic. The only option left for you is to simplify all the shapes, simplify like every single element and standardize.
See, but the thing is, what makes them different is they not just simplify it and they not just show it where you can understand it, which a lot of people can do, but they do it so beautifully. Like their illustrations and their animations, they just look beautiful, dude.
Yeah. They've also standardized their visual language, which also makes it super enjoyable as like a regular viewer of that, like as a subscriber.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier for me to understand what they're trying to say, because if a certain part of the video, like a certain element of the video has been abstracted because they wanted to make it simpler, I still understand what that thing is because I'm used to this kind of a visual language
that they're doing.
Yeah.
You know the best video I've seen from them, like the most beautiful video.
Which one?
Ironically, it's about, the title of the video is called "What Makes Things Beautiful."
Oh my god.
It is
Oh
beautiful.
my god, dude.
I was smiling when I saw that video, man. I was like, wow, it is so good.
Wait.
It was so good.
I was in, I don't know for sure now, but I think mostly I was in Bhutan when I saw that video. And dude, everything in my life made sense when I saw that, because I was just like in Bhutan. I'm in this new country for the first time and shit, and I'm anyways in awe of not only how physically beautiful a place is, but like how people can be beautiful, like, you know, just as a community and everything. And then I saw that video. And those were my YouTube Go days, where I was literally watching like 2 videos on YouTube every day, like, and it was just so good, man. Like
they not only showed me why things are beautiful, but then while I was watching it, and then they were like, see, this is not beautiful, this is beautiful. And in my head, I was like, yes, that is clearly more beautiful than the other thing that is not beautiful. And they did such a good job of it, man. And speaking of Patreon, those guys, they post very rarely. They post like what, once a month? Or little more than that now.
Twice in a month
Patreon.
max.
Yeah, twice in a month, once a fortnight type. But they put so much effort. Oh my god.
Into their Patreons.
Yeah. No, not into the video, man. Like they put out a course on Skillshare on how they do their things on After Effects and everything. And I remember watching like a clip of it, whichever was previewable on Skillshare. My god, first of all, dude, props to people who use After Effects. I can't do it. That's one software. I know a lot of softwares. After Effects is not one of them, which I'm very happy to use. But man, those guys know it so well. And each frame is so well done. Like each clip is so well thought of.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to actually talk about the Dyson spheres and everything. I feel like the listeners should go and actually watch what Dyson spheres actually are, and
you'll have a great time.
Yeah, you find them beautiful, and yeah, just regularly just go and watch and subscribe to Kurzgesagt. They're just amazing. Okay. Which one now? Primitive?
Yeah, that for sure. But now we're going to talk about primitive technology, and I know for a fact that not only are we going to talk about this video, we're going to talk about primitive technology in general.
Okay, so because we have spoken about like so many sciencey and tech stuff, I feel like for the rest of the show, we should just like go deep dive and just talk about this one creator.
Nestle into the woods with primitive technology.
Yeah. So I feel like now there's a lot of primitive technology kind of copycat channels, especially on Facebook.
Man, this is the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about.
Before that, I feel like YouTube gave credit to him in the best way possible.
Yeah. He was in Rewind.
Bro, that was honestly the best part of YouTube Rewind. That was the only part where
I would say 5 comments, like every 5 over 1,000 like comments on this video that we are watching is that you were my favorite part of YouTube Rewind. And I felt so happy in my heart. I was like, yes, man, like, there are such dedicated primitive technology
fans. You know, the thing is, I was so cringed out by YouTube Rewind that as soon as I saw Will Smith at the end, I just closed it. And I never watched YouTube Rewind after that.
Just on a side note, have you seen the That's Hot memes of Will Smith?
No, I'm gonna watch.
I'll send you a compilation. It's basically Will Smith.
At the end he says, "Oh."
No, and he goes to the binoculars and he's like, "That's hot. That's hot."
Yeah,
and then it shows what he's looking at. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I feel like that's a good quality meme.
Yeah, bro. It's like well aged and shit.
I mean, on YouTube Rewind, the 2 positive comments I kept seeing was Jaiden Animations sneaked in PewDiePie's chair
Yeah.
in the video. That was crazy. I didn't expect that from Jaiden Animations, honestly.
Yeah.
But she's awesome, by the way. I watch all of her videos. She's amazing. And this primitive technology thing, I didn't even know about it like till a week back, man. Like I didn't know that primitive technology was did the end credits. I didn't even see it. Then I listened to a podcast and I was like, oh, and then I went back and watched it.
Man, I feel like YouTube owed it to him to give him like so much limelight like that, because he has single-handedly given birth to a new category of content.
Yeah.
Everywhere online. This is just the new, I mean, I won't say it's the new thing because there are many new things, but just doing this, like creating structures, I don't even know, they're mostly structures only in like the woods with like extremely basic tools and not using any electricity, obviously.
Yeah.
It gets so many views, man. It's unreal. Let's go to the forest and make some shit, bro. Like, I don't even know.
I keep seeing these two.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not going to be racist about it.
We won't be racist. I feel like they're Burmese, I want to say,
I think
or
so.
Vietnamese. Maybe. They look like that.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have still offended some people. We're sorry.
Yeah, we would. Yeah. They predominantly work with bamboo. And you can see...
Man, but honestly, the kind of stuff they put up, I feel like between cuts, they get like a bulldozer. It like digs out. Seriously, bro. Like, they're just... Like, at least when I watch a primitive technology video, there's just like a subtle satisfaction that, man, this guy's honest. I have no way of knowing... But I just know that, he's honest. He's like fully dedicated to being primitive in the way that he's creating stuff. And I feel like just in his own head, he never violates that. But with all of these other fucking knockoff channels, I feel like they don't give a shit, man. They don't want to, like, they are not selling the concept. They are just piggybacking off of this concept that is going to get them views. So it doesn't really matter if they get like, 20 laborers and fucking dig up. They're making like swimming pools and shit, man. They're making like... They're making bricks. They're just making stuff that, I mean, if they are honest about that, then that's great. But it feels weird. I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel genuine.
Another kind of very similar concept which has been going on. Okay. This has just been happening to me a lot. When I move to a new device, okay, or a new laptop or something like that, every once in a while, I will not sign in. And I want to see, what do people see when they don't sign into YouTube? Okay. And I see this constantly. Because I'm in India, there's always some TV show bullshit that's going on. Like some trailer, some music video. Okay. And then there's this one channel or these 2-3 channels and all of their videos, and I don't know how they've done so many videos of them just putting some contraption, which is very primitive, to catch fish.
Oh my God.
Have you seen this?
Oh my God.
Have you seen this? And I'm like...
Can it get more random? Can it get more in an age of like mass... Like all of the negative effects of mass farming, like overfishing and shit. We're just looking at these random guys in a rice field putting bamboos in the ground and crying. I'm like, holy shit.
I'll tell you all of their things, okay? And I feel like this is what started all of it out. And I feel like all of their contraptions eventually revolve around this. They'll take some mud, okay? Or they'll dig a hole. Wait. They'll dig a hole, okay? And then they'll just shove like a few bamboo like pieces, okay? And basically, and they'll put some water and they'll put some stuff inside. Dude, and they just then suddenly, and they, wait. The worst part, this is what pisses me off. They'll cover it with grass, okay? And then there'll be some subtitle like as if it's like some SpongeBob SquarePants like episode 2 days later. Okay, and then they just open the grass and then there's fish there, and I'm like, and I keep thinking to myself, you dick, I know what you've done. You've just taken the fish and then just shoved it inside there. Like, so there's a bunch of these copycats around. But the OG has always been this guy.
No, man, he had to adapt. He's like started putting that orange border around his video and the Primitive Technology logo to like separate his video from all of the other knockoffs that are there. That's fucked up. I mean, it makes me think about, I mean, competition is always good. But the problem with YouTube is that if you have a really good idea, you have to be so far, like either you have to have a vision that, you know, even if you have an idea, you know how much you could evolve 100 ideas down with that same theme.
Yeah.
Because by the time your 5th video has gone viral, people are already piggybacking off of that, especially with something like Primitive Technology where it's not, he doesn't talk, like it's not audio, I could watch the video in mute, man.
Yeah.
He's not speaking, and that makes it so much more easier in terms of accessing the content because you don't need to, you literally just have to watch it. You don't have to understand anything.
Yeah. And I feel like he is like, you know, there, because this platform is relatively new, there's been people, like you said, who are the first ones to ever do something like it. You know, like they're the first ones to think and conceptualize that a channel like this can exist. You know? Like we listened to a podcast by Reply All, right? Where that whole pet tube thing, where it's just a person who just has a bunch of pets and she started it. And then, Rosanna? I forgot what's her name. Whatever.
Tyler Nicole Dean.
Tyler Nicole Dean, yeah. And she started all of it out, but then now there's a whole genre in YouTube because of that. And I feel like Primitive Technology is like one of those.
Man, and I feel bad for those people because I mean, that's exactly, I'm coming back to the same point. Competition is always great, but such fierce competition and they're stealing all of your views. And there is no cap like to the amount of other channels that can exist that are also doing primitive technology videos. I've seen an Australian guy who's talking and he's like in the forest cooking crabs.
I've seen that.
I've seen those Vietnamese guys. I've seen some other Russian guy. Like,
don't forget the fish guy, bro.
and the fish guy. Of course, he's caught crabs also and eels also.
Yeah. And I feel like you and I have been watching Primitive Technology for a while now. It's been like, what, 2 years, 3 years since?
Yeah, for sure. I remember when, exactly. When we discovered Primitive Technology, we
just
kind
watched
of,
all of them.
We kind of flipped because first of all, it's so satisfying to watch someone make something. Like, that is one part of it. And then to see this guy who is not, I mean, it was such a new thing. I mean, especially for you who's done like Design Earth and shit, which is basically this course where you are meant to do something like this. I don't know.
You could say so, but
yeah.
No, and I feel like the way he puts effort into creating the things that he does, you slowly start to realize it's not just an art form and the way he does it and the technique that he does it, but he has a certain style as well. And you start seeing a certain style in all of the other competitors that is there as well. You get what I mean? Like, and obviously I feel like the style also...
No, but I honestly feel like I really want to know more about him now because we're having this conversation. Because if you look at those two other Vietnamese guys, they mostly do like you said, they do a lot of bamboo stuff. And they do, most of what they do are structures.
Yeah.
Okay, like they'll create like a tree house or like a pool or like a house in a pool or like a pool on top of a house. They're really obsessed with fucking pools.
Yeah.
Primitive Technology has done houses. He's done a furnace. He's done weaponry. He's done like stone tools. And now I see his struggle. The struggle is real because I feel like he is trying to genuinely, honestly transition into the metal age.
Yeah.
But at the same time, remain genuine to the concept of his original channel, which is that he's not going to use electricity or modern tools. He has to create all of his tools from what's there in the surroundings. So for him, even if he gets iron ore from somewhere, I don't know what counts according to him as cheating.
One thing which I only realize now, which is that his style and the style of all the other competitors that are around, it also reflects that the environment they are around in.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing those people from those two guys, wherever they are, they must be having a lot of bamboo around.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't have any bamboo around, man. He doesn't have any water much apart from that stream over there, right? And certainly, if you've been, I think you've also observed this, where he gets that soil from. It's
What
not
the
really
fuck is
iron
that,
ore.
man?
Yeah,
It's the
I
most.
don't know.
It's like the Earth's asshole. Like he just puts his finger there. And,
disgusting. And I remember. By the way, if you're very interested in it, you should check out his WordPress website, blog or whatever. And he goes very in depth over there. I don't remember what exactly is that. I feel like it's a byproduct of algae or some moss or something like that he was saying. I forgot.
What is his name?
I don't know. He does. I mean,
Where is he from?
We don't know, bro. That's the best part about him, man. We don't know.
Achha, so it doesn't say on his blog who he is
Nothing.
or where he's from.
It's just primitive technology videos and and he just basically has a written description about what he did. Basically, that's it. That's all that's there. But a very, very detailed description of what he's doing. And I feel like we have seen him grow over the years. I feel like and I still feel like should be his still his most viewed video, where he made a tiled roof hut.
Oh my god,
bro,
man.
that shit was insane, man. Like
that was insane. Yeah.
I remember. Okay, so I got to know about primitive technology out of all places on 9gag, when there was a gif of him making a tiled roof hut. And I was like, bro, I got to know who this guy is. Like, and then I went down and then someone told this, and then I went and saw his video. And bro, like, and he's gone a long way from here. But I feel like, especially with the video that he's released this time, which is what we are talking about, which is the iron ore thing. I feel like because he's reached this roadblock, which is that even though you do such a large furnace and you do so much work and you're just getting like pellets of iron, just move on. Just don't think about the Iron Age. There's a lot more that's still left.
Man, I really want him to be an Age of Empires game on YouTube. Like, I want to see that. I want, like, this is a transition period for him. He's trying to find a place where he can get like large amounts of iron ore, large amounts of iron, where he can like probably smelt it into like a tool or something. Maybe he then can start refining other metals. Maybe then he's creating electricity. Like, the sky's the limit, bro. Like, he could progress. It's like putting limitations on yourself and then seeing with the resources that you have in front of you, could you get to the level of modern society single-handedly?
But at what cost, man? Like, because the thing is,
bro, cost doesn't matter to him, right? This is his whole channel.
Bro,
like, I would kind of flip my shit if he makes like a axe or something.
I meant at what cost? I meant like, bro, he clearly doesn't have iron ore around. He only has the Earth's asshole to work with.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and the thing is, regardless of what he's trying to do, he's still a YouTube channel and he's still a person who's stuck in a forest. Right. Like, he either has to move on to another location where he can do these kind of things, or he needs to do a different kind of, or he needs to just stick to his to his place and then realize, no man, this is what. And I feel like
No, but then he'll stagnate. No, if I don't want to see him make furnaces again and again.
no, but not furnaces, bro. There's a lot more things that we did without iron.
I think he's only made one. Oh no, he's made a couple of food videos. He did the sweet potatoes. He's
Even the
done
sweet potatoes,
shrimps.
yeah, and no, I
That's
feel like,
about it.
bro, like vehicular technology,
Oh yeah.
you know, like tools that he can.
I haven't seen him work with wood too much.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot more that he can do from that perspective. I feel like, see, he definitely had to try. Like, I'm very glad he.
I just want to see him prevail, dude. I just want to see him make like an axe or just like a knife or something.
No,
like,
he's made an axe. I don't think he's made a knife.
He's made a stone axe. I mean, like
Yeah.
a metal thing.
Yeah, I hope, bro. I just hope he can get this metal thing sorted out. And you know what? I remember distinctively he moved to a different location in the same forest, presumably. Because that tile roof hut went away. That straw hut also broke down. So he just basically moved to another place. I don't know what exactly his personal situation is and all of that, where he lives and all that, and what forest this is in. But like, I don't know. Hopefully,
Can you
he
just
does
can you
find
just
out.
imagine going to where he is and just seeing like basically it's like a small, I don't want to say village is still like too big of a establishment, but like just the general location that he's built so much stuff, and all of that stuff is probably just there.
Bro, I keep imagining, and I don't think fantasizing is the right word, but I keep imagining like, who is he, man? Like, what the fuck is he? Like, you know, what if he does his primitive technology videos, okay, and then once the video is done, then he wears his shirt and pant and shoes. Then he goes and then drives an Audi back to his house, you know, and then he's a CEO of a company or some shit. You know?
Yeah. Oh shit.
Like, what if he's like, I don't know, because he definitely seems.
He seems Russian for some reason, man.
I don't know, bro.
Doesn't he feel Russian?
I've always got a very, especially from the forest, feels very Amazonian, Brazilian.
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
feel.
That's
to
totally
that.
possible.
Yeah. But I keep thinking this to myself, man. I'm just like, you know, what if he, bro, what if,
Behind the facade.
yeah, what, I mean, and I kept, once I was just like, dude, how is he just going to this forest and then doing it? And I was like, oh, dude, what if he owns the forest? Like, what if he owns all of the acres of land that he's in and he's just like, I'm just going to do this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man, because he's going to take like at least a week on one project, like
More
max
than
to
that.
max.
Way more than that, man.
Because what I was going to say was that because he knows all of this shit. He knows about primitive technology and how to like create all of these things. But he's also filming it. And he's filming it well. Like,
Yeah.
I like the way he films it. So
Yeah.
he has camera gear.
Yeah. For
I
sure.
don't think he has sound equipment because he doesn't really talk, so he doesn't really give a shit. But he probably then has to get a laptop. He's like dumping footage. He's like editing that shit, like all of that.
Of course, man. Like he's not a primitive guy.
He goes back. He has a giant like PC Master Race like
bro, he must
tower
be
and shit.
Yeah, like obviously, man. Like that's what. But to what? I mean, I keep thinking, to what extent is it? Like, you know, like imagine he goes back to a mansion or something, and he's just chilling
That would
there.
be crazy, man.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm glad he did this iron ore video, because by the way, this is not the first time he's doing it, right? He's done this once before.
Where he made that blower and
Yeah,
stuff.
and now he tried so hard, and then he realized maybe this is not the way to go.
Yeah, it's definitely not, dude.
I don't know what, I mean, I'm just excited to see what he comes up with, man. Like, to be honest, I feel like he should make a house again. And
I want him to make a crazy house.
Yeah,
I want
like
him
a
to make like a
Hobbit
3
kind of-
BHK and shit.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
Arre.
Like it has floors and stuff in it.
And in one of them, he actually produces the videos. Like he takes his iMac and puts it over there. Maybe, I don't know.
He puts like solar panels and stuff. That would be cool.
I don't know. I hope he continues to do this.
Yeah, man. It just goes to show you how diverse content can be.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I feel like I should also mention this. Also for the listeners, if you want to see a channel which is just about how to make things from scratch, like you can use modern tools.
Yeah,
like if you
and
want
technology.
To use a heater,
I know exactly which channel you're talking about.
How to make everything.
Yeah.
It's the channel, right? And he's been trying very hard to make glass.
I know, I saw.
And
he's the opposite of primitive. His channel should be just called technology.
No, like
because it's not primitive.
No, but I feel like how to make everything is the perfect channel name he can get, because I feel like, I think he went viral when he made a sandwich from scratch.
Man, but you know what the problem with that guy is? He's not good
at doing it.
Yeah,
I get so irritated by him. Bro.
He's so dumb. Like he's so clumsy and shit. Like I'm just like, bro. I like you and shit. Like your idea is great, but you're just not good with your hands. I don't know
honestly,
how else to put it.
He's become a lot better. I get damn pissed off with him, bro. I'm just like, when he's doing some chemistry and he breaks a beaker, and I'm like, you piece of shit. You dumb piece of shit. You went all the way to some other state to just get this salt. Okay. And now you dropped all the salt. And I'm like, you can't. I remember, I'll tell you the one which I got damn pissed off with him. He was trying to make lipstick. Okay. And he got a mold, and I didn't know this mold existed. You can just pour the molten wax of the lipstick into this one thing, which then makes it look like a lipstick. Okay, like the lipstick, the cylinder, and it's cut in an angle and things. It's the same kind of mold. And he fucking did put in that hole, man. He missed it. Like he poured it somewhere else. And I'm like, and
you had one job.
One job. I was just thinking that, bro. I was like, you had one job. You just had to do this. You finished all of this and you had to do one thing.
Or he could have redone it and then just edited that fuck up out. But I guess he wants to be like,
no, I suck as well. Honestly, he's become a lot better. He's gotten like many other YouTubers who start off single-handedly and then realize, no, I need few people with me. He got another assistant to just make other random videos during the week, and I hate him. But sometimes they do okay. Like sometimes there's some projects which I'm like, this is pretty interesting. He's been trying glass for so long now, so long.
But he succeeded, no?
Yeah,
like,
he succeeded.
Did it.
But again, clumsily.
Yeah.
But I feel like next time, hopefully, surely, he should be able to. Let's see, bro. If you like this episode of Substation, please rate us on iTunes. That's the best way for us to gain traction. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. If you'd like to give us feedback or would like to recommend a YouTube video, you can follow us on an app called Anchor and send us a recording from the app, which we could add to our next show. You can also leave us a comment on our YouTube channel as well as messages or comment on Instagram. All the links will be in the show notes. Thanks for listening, guys.